Hey, what's up you guys, it's Connor, and today I'm going to be doing a book review for Thunderhead by Neal Shusterman. Thunderhead is the second book in the Arc of Scythe series, and the first book is called Scythe. I did a book review for that book as well, so I'll leave it linked if you want to check it out. Also, I was sent this book by the publisher for a sponsored video, which I've already done, but this video is not sponsored. Regardless, my thoughts and feelings are my own. I just wanted to let you guys know that I did get this book for free. If you guys don't know, the Arc of Scythe series follows two characters that are living in this world where humans have become immortal. Every time they start to age too much or age to a point that they are no longer enjoying life, they are able to do what's called turning the corner, and they are turned back into a younger version of themselves. So if they turn 55, 60, they're able to turn the corner and turn back into 25 or 30-year-olds if they want to. Because people never die, the population of humans on Earth has grown exponentially, and the only way that people naturally die anymore is if they are caught in a fire and burned to death, or something similar to that, like acid or the body can't be found kind of thing. The only other way that humans are killed is by a group of people called scythes, and scythes are tasked with culling people, and they're supposed to do it without bias, and so there's different quotas of different types of people that you have to kill. There's a quota for men versus women, and also different cultures and ethnicities and colors of people. So there's a certain number of black people that you have to kill, and a certain number of white people, and a certain number of Asian people, etc. And the main two characters are trying to become a part of this scythedom. The entire world is run by one single AI system called the Thunderhead, and the Thunderhead is something that people actually really enjoy. The Thunderhead takes care of people and gets them jobs and has established a minimum pay that everyone gets no matter what, so they don't actually have to work if they don't want to, but most people do want to work because then life would be very boring. And he takes care of everything on the entire Earth. There are no governments anymore, there's just different regions. It's the Thunderhead and the Scythedom that are running the entire world. And then this book takes place a year after Scythe. As usual with my book reviews, I'm going to go through my pros, go through my cons, give you my rating, and be done. My first pro for this book is that it does take place a significant chunk of time after the first one, so the characters have really had time to grow and change after the events of the first book finished. Citra has really grown into her own and has really solidified into the person that she's gonna be. Her morals are pretty concrete, and I really enjoyed seeing her navigate through this world after the events of the first book. Rowan, on the other hand, is still figuring it out, and I really enjoyed that juxtaposition of Citra being so sure of herself. I mean, she is still young, the characters are only 18, but she is pretty steady on her feet, and Rowan is trying to figure out what direction he wants to take, kind of thing. So I really enjoyed the fact that they've been up to things within the past year that you're kind of catching up on, as well as following them as the plot moves along. I really enjoyed secondary characters that were introduced as well. Grayson is such an interesting character. I really enjoyed his point of view and his take on the world, because instead of the point of view of two characters that have been chosen to become Scythe apprentices, you get a character that has nothing to do with the Scythedom at all. He is just a normal Joe Schmo character, and you get to see how he views this same world, how he views the Thunderhead, how he views the Scythedom, how he views himself within society. It was really cool to get that side of things. Another secondary character that we get to meet is Miria, and she was super interesting as well for other reasons. So honestly, the characters that Neal Shusterman have introduced to the series in this book, as well as the ones that he's kept up with from the first book, have all been very intriguing and very engaging. I just want to know more and more about all of these characters, so I really enjoyed that in this book. In this world, scythes are required to keep journals, and in the first book you get journal entries from a bunch of different scythes, which from my review a lot of people said that they did not read those interludes, and I think that you are missing out if you didn't read them. But in this book, instead of getting journal entries from scythes, you get little interludes from the Thunderhead's point of view, which was so awesome because you could definitely see how the Thunderhead is viewing himself and his role when it comes to people and how he's the caretaker of humans. But it also follows him as he's learning that he doesn't know everything, and that upsets him, and so you see a slow progress of the Thunderhead shifting the way that he thinks and the way that he feels, I guess. I'm saying he, but the Thunderhead doesn't have a gender. This slow shift of the Thunderhead's position and how he views itself really adds to the tension of the book, and the tension throughout this novel is just growing and growing and growing. It's the perfect amount of tension, though. It's not so much so that it gives you anxiety and you're getting stressed, but it's enough tension that it keeps you on your feet and it keeps you reading and reading and reading, which is one of my favorite things that a book can do, especially when there's POV shifts. This character ends on a cliffhanger, so you have to read the POV of these couple characters so you can get back to that character. It was so much fun. Another thing that I liked was just that in this series in general, it just addresses things of who decides who dies and who lives. Is it right for anyone to have that power? Is it right for anyone to decide who lives and who dies? Is it even right for someone to decide when they die? All of those concepts were things that I really was interested in reading about, so I really loved seeing them in this novel. And the last thing was that just the way that this book ended, I was floored. I need the next book right now, and Thunderhead just came out recently, so I have a very long time until the next book comes out, but I want to know what's going to happen next right now. Now I'm going to talk about a couple of my cons. I don't absolutely love when books end on cliffhangers, which is kind of what this book did. If I have access to the next book, it's something that I kind of enjoy because then I can jump right into the next one. But with this one, I have to wait for it. So now I'm a little bit annoyed, but that's a personal problem. And because I couldn't think of any other cons on my own, I looked up a couple of reviews and people have said that they haven't appreciated the POV shifts in the middle of the chapter. So from one paragraph to another, sometimes it switches the character that you're following and which character you get inside of the head of. And those people have a hard time jumping from one person to another when it's not clearly stated. Here, it just switches from one to the other without saying it directly. You learn pretty early on within that paragraph which character you're following, but I can definitely see why that would be difficult for some people to follow. But as I said, that didn't affect my reading experience. I absolutely loved this book. In the end, I ended up giving this book 5 stars. I loved it. I gave the first book 4.5 stars, I believe, and this one 5 stars, so I'm just loving this series so much, and I definitely recommend it to people that are intrigued about it. Check it out. So that's gonna be my review of Thunderhead by Neal Shusterman. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and comment down below. Have you read this book? Have you read Scythe and you're just waiting to read Thunderhead? Have you read anything by Neal Shusterman? Anything you want me to know, leave it down below and I will talk to you guys next time.